Let's go.
If you smell what the gauntlet is cooking.
Ladies and gentlemen, another episode of The Gauntlet presented by Fanatics. Dom is going to be hosting the show tonight. He's getting things kicked off for us. He passed the... Everyone, round of applause for Dom for passing the breathalyzer test. He is not drunk. He's not hungover. Round of applause for this man. Fantastic.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Oh, look at my shirt.
If his Lions made the play, he'd have been drunk.
Well, they kept Green Bay out of the playoffs. So,
yeah, that was nice.
That is worth something.
Yes, sir. I like that.
Now, I don't like that because y'all messed up my bet. I was so in line to hit, and then y'all
I mean, I kind of wanted Green Bay in the playoffs. I thought it would have been more interesting. But
I honestly thought,
Seattle it is.
Bump all that. I needed one
I thought
more.
Green Bay might sneak in and then go on a little run, which is to say,
Hell no. They would have got smoked by the 49ers. We all know that.
Right.
Like
They would have ran into San Francisco, and then it would have been a wrap.
That Green Bay team is just not good. The only reason they were in this position is to have Aaron Rodgers, but it is what it is.
No, actually.
Matt, what's up, bro? How you doing tonight, man? Thanks for tuning into the show.
James,
Aaron Rodgers is the problem.
F all that. We ain't going to talk about the fact I needed one more catch from Aaron, 4 more completions from Aaron Rodgers, and 10 more yards from Al Lazard. That fourth down was...
This is the gauntlet, not JJ's regrettable and just slightly missed parlays. We've all been there.
That is that is what
JJ, every time you talk about losing a parlay, you talk like it's the first time you ever lost a parlay before, bro.
That is what I bring to the table, okay?
He gives an analysis of the whole thing, like, man, I could have had it,
you
but
have
then
a gambling problem. Call
1-800-GAMBLER
for help today.
JJ is like version 2.0 of that guy.
JJ, I'm kidding, bro. Calm down.
Knew nothing about football, and then he got into like a high stakes fantasy league, and then he just studied everything.
I missed
it
all.
Really is online, or parlays and whatnot. Yes, exactly.
Listen, everybody has a thing they the team. I bring the sports bets.
Fred Jenkins.
Philly Jim, introduce your friends. We have
guys. We have Kenyon here at the top of the screen, joining us for the first time tonight, making his Gauntlet debut. Everyone make some noise for Kenyon, even though he's a Saints fan.
Whoa! We beat them this fight.
And then down here we have Zach Watson joining us. Again,
hey,
Zach
it's been a minute. It's been a minute, Zach. How you living, man?
Yeah, I'm good, man. I'm good. Glad to be back. Thank y'all for having me.
Shout out to the Highland Ave, bro. Shout out.
You like Jordan Pennington's like distant cousin, man. It's funny.
Really?
You gotta talk like too.
Don't disrespect this man like that.
Where's Jordan, man? Like, Jordan need to pop up real quick, man.
Official timeout. We got to get to Sports Morons. And of course, you know what we got.
Are you guys kidding me?
Oh, I'm dead ass serious. Sports Morons of the Week is the Houston Texans organization. This team is a joke. And let me get this straight. You fire Lovie Smith after one season. And I got to give a major shout out to Lovie Smith because obviously he had coaching history in Tampa Bay. He had coaching history with most notably with the Bears. Guy's a good coach. Okay. And this guy went out with a bang, like winning that last game of the season that took the number 1 pick basically away from the Texans. I love the fact that Lovie Smith went out and coached this team and told them to give everything and to win the game because that was pretty much like a ultimate middle finger to the Texans organization that has no idea what they're doing.
Y'all draft pick.
You did it last year and made all this noise about David Culley and how, he was just the placeholder and all this stuff. And you hired Lovie Smith, and now you fire Lovie Smith after one season. And you know what? If I'm one of the top coaching candidates that's coming out of this class, and we're going to talk about the coaching stuff later, listen, if I'm one of the top candidates and the Texans call me and they want to interview me, I'll go and do the interview, but I'm not taking that job. You have 2 years of firing the coach after 1 season. So if I'm a top candidate, why am I going to want the Houston Texans job? It makes no sense to me. So the Texans are my sports moron of the week for just being a very stupid organization.
Yeah, I'm gonna double down on what he said, and trust me, I know my team. Don't forget, this is the same man. The only reason they even hired David Culley was number one to try to cover it. Oh, hey, see, we hired a black coach, and number two was trying to get Deshaun Watson to stay, and it didn't work. You know, this is the type of things that I'm talking about. But you know what? We can go all the way back, and not to make it political or anything like that. But I have said that the McNairs have a racist history. I've said that I said when Bob McNair, when the whole thing happened with with Donald Sterling, and he said what he said, and he had to sell the Clippers. When he went to that locker room, he didn't tell people, "Hey, don't be racist," because it's a POS thing to do. He said, "Be careful what you say because it could spread like wildfire." He didn't tell these folks the ills of racism. He told them, "Watch what you say." Like, that's your go-to. Kept telling everybody about it, you know. And
embodiment of, I don't want to sound racist, but
yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? And then not
you
to
just say
mention
the
the
most
only good
racist
thing.
crap ever.
The only good thing that they did was they got rid of Jack Easterby, in which I've told everybody over and over and over and over again that Bill O'Brien was a fall guy. The real guy that wanted Hopkins gone was Jack Easterby. He evaluates talent based off of religious faith and not ability on the field, which
dumbest thing I've ever heard.
Exactly, you know, and I'll tell you like this, and I hate the Cowboys. I wouldn't even wish Jack Easterby on them. That's how bad I don't like this man. I'm happy he's going from my city. And
man traded Hopkins because he didn't go to church, bro.
Yeah, you know what I mean. And so, but no, I'm with James. Yeah,
That's
my team is a sports moron. You had it. Now, in all reality, are the Bears going to take a quarterback with the number one pick? I mean, probably not. So a quarterback will still fall to us. No. But as far as screwing up the number one pick, I agree with Lovie Smith. Get that W on your way out the door and stick it to him.
Real quick, Jay, are you going to be just fuming mad if the Bears? Because listen, and I said this from the beginning about Justin Fields. If they can get a haul for him to trade him, I could see them drafting a quarterback.
They probably have Justin Fields or one of the quarterbacks coming out this year. Question for the panel.
I like Fields, but I would rather get somebody out of the draft.
Will Anderson.
Yeah, I mean, preferably I would like Young or Stroud, you know.
The Bears will probably take Anderson.
Probably. That's who they're going to take. I feel like they're going to mess up.
But what they really need to do is they need to get a wide receiver for Justin Fields.
Personally, I would keep Justin Fields because they don't really have too much talent around him. And Justin Fields, when they started to cater the offense to him, has shown the ability to make it work. He has the dynamic ability of a dual threat quarterback. And while he hasn't got there, look at the team around them. Cole Kemet. Can you name any other wide receivers? So
Felix Jones, he's a boss.
Hold
overrated.
Hold on. I wouldn't even restart. I would work with Justin Fields. I kind of, at the end of the day, he's shown some ability to grow. I mean, at the end of the day, sorry I said that twice, but got to see something. Why would you start over? That makes no sense.
If the Bears took Marvin Harrison Jr. with the first overall pick, do you think that would be a reach?
Isn't he supposed to be transferring and
not eligible? But I've seen
not eligible.
Take that Quentin Johnston.
Never mind. What's Zach? What's the receiver at Tennessee?
Hyatt.
Hyatt. The one that got like 5 touchdowns.
Hyatt and Tillman coming out.
You gotta give us a scoop on the Vols, bro.
That's Jalen Hyatt.
You're the Bears.
Jalen Hyatt.
If you're the Bears, you need to replace the person that just left. You need to replace Khalil Mack. Get on Will Anderson.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, then they need to sign a receiver in free agency. They gotta do something about the receiver. Like the Buffalo Bills, they went out and got Stephon Diggs. The Eagles got AJ Brown. It's time for the Bears to do something like that.
But it's not as clear cut and easy as people make it seem. It's not like just a wide receiver's going to pop out and just get it done. You can
at least make the effort.
But that's the thing. We don't people make effort all the time. It's just guys got to go there. The Ravens made effort at Allen Robinson. He chose not to go. Went to LA. It's like you got to make the effort, but You can't just not as easy as just sit there and say, "Oh, great, go get one." They gotta want to come too.
Or the Cardinals are saying they're trying to get rid of DeAndre Hopkins.
That's what I'm about to say. They could get D-Hop.
Now, the Chicago.
I've seen reports about that.
Way too many holes to risk potential.
You need to fix that damn O-line first.
Right.
Okay, I think things kind of went off the rails here, but let's kind of try to bring it back in now. Does anybody else have a sports moron that they want to share?
Yes, college football.
65-7, bro.
Thank you so much for that super entertaining nail biter of a championship game.
Hey, bro, I had to work. I'm glad that it happened like that. My ass went to bed.
You didn't.
Never let
that was
another big
disgusting.
I
I had to get up at 4 a.m. the next day.
I mean, even Michigan could have kept it closer, or Ohio State. And listen, neither TCU nor Ohio State even belong there. How do you lose a conference title game and still get in? And now instead of like this was just what have I been saying since the beginning of the college football playoffs inception? Stupid. Not enough teams, right?
Well, that's why they're expanding it.
The funny thing about this is
the 12 now.
How
much worse is it going to be now? There was 4 teams and 2 of them, and 3 of them didn't belong.
People are mad at college football for their own grievances about college football. You're mad at yourself. Like you were sitting there complaining for the first 3 or 4 years while we have 2 SEC teams. It's SEC bias. Now the last 2 years you ain't had 2 SEC teams or too much this year you have 2 SEC teams and now you're mad. Like pick and choose. What are you mad at? What are you talking about? You mad?
Well, and here's the other thing. Is there literally was no one else left. Everyone below Ohio State had 2 losses. Mind you, the last 2-loss national champion was LSU in 2007 in the previous era. They went 11-2 and won a national title, and they got to that game literally because everyone else lost. You know, now it's not sitting here saying they're not deserving of their championship, but there's a reason why a 2-loss team has not been back since.
Here's the problem with the college football thing. You're going to have people that are
in the playoff.
The same people that are mad that they're expanding the playoffs are the same people who are mad and saying, oh, well, you know, it's always Alabama and Clemson and Ohio State always playing every single year. And now you have more seeding, and now all the people are going to say, oh, my God, like, why did they make the seeding so big?
You know what I'm saying? When are we going to get to a point where just admit it's never going to be satisfied by anybody? There's always going to be somebody that's pissed off about something. Yeah, I hated the BCS era. You got the college football player. That's what people wanted. That's exactly
since the 2000s.
I didn't mind BCS.
They like the BCS. Why didn't they like the BCS? Oh, now you got the college football player. You mad at that? Goodness gracious, just accept the fact that you're never going to be happy unless your team makes it and a team you like didn't make it. That's it.
The only way I'm going to be happy is if Alabama gets sanctioned, which will now never happen.
I think they should go back to just the BCS. I think they should go back to this
personally agree with
you.
I think I had no issue with the BCS. I do think the only issue I had with the BCS
too many teams in.
These big time teams need to stop being afraid of these up and coming teams at that time. But the reason why they stopped the BCS is they knew Boise State was coming. They knew Boise State was going to get there, and Boise State had already surprised and interrupted and basically embarrassed all of the Power 5 already from Oklahoma and on. They didn't want them to embarrass the team in the national championship. That's why they left the BCS era. They wasn't about to have that because Boise.
You let them. And you give 1 and 2 a bye.
Boise said they wanted smoke with Alabama. They asked everybody. They all turned them down.
What's going on, Megan?
It was not trying to play.
Yeah, and you know what?
Of the week too.
Anyone who criticize Naomi Osaka for pulling out of Australia?
She's pregnant. Yeah, absolutely. And real quick to JJ's point, TCU being in the national championship game is exactly why they stopped the BCS.
Just saying, Jalen Reagor went to TCU.
Probably should have been Michigan.
They lost by 58. I don't think that's a coincidence.
But see,
it probably should have been Michigan. But if this gets Jim Harbaugh back to the NFL, I'm good with it.
No, but even with the
sanctions,
no one was beating Georgia anyways.
Possibly
that's since week 1.
I don't know. We'll never know.
He got a sports moron.
I guess we'll never know.
You had a sports moron, bro. Go ahead.
I think this was. I'm sorry. My bad.
Oh, my bad. I've seen Nick Wright. he said that the Bears should trade Justin Fields straight up for Lamar Jackson.
Say what?
That he should trade.
The Ravens would not do that. Lamar is.
That's what I'm saying. I seen that. He said that on that first thing first. He said that the Chicago Bears should trade Justin Fields to the Ravens for Lamar Jackson.
Yeah.
Man,
the only way that makes sense is if the Ravens know they're not going to pay Lamar.
They're not.
We don't know that. We don't know that for sure. We don't know that for sure.
It is ironic to hear how much everyone is talking about what this team needs, what they have to do. But half of the world was sitting there saying he wouldn't even be at this point to begin with. Y'all need to just eat crow and accept the fact that he's a good quarterback that somebody should have.
He's good. He is good. But the thing, Justin Fields doesn't solve your problems.
The issues is not the issue. Is not the quarterback situation.
It's kicking the can down the road because you got Fields on a rookie contract for a couple of
months. If I had $1 for every time I've seen a trade scenario for somebody to get Lamar Jackson, I wouldn't have to work right now. It happens. Goddamn day.
You're better off trading him than paying him.
My
moron.
Now, who are they going to get that's going to replace Lamar that's going to be just as good? If you think that you shouldn't pay him.
His replacement won't be as good, but you know what he will be? A lot cheaper.
If I was to throw a hot take out there, like if I really was to do a hot take out there, I would do something that most teams really wouldn't do.
People don't just let players like Lamar walk out the building, bro.
People won't do this, but
unless you're a really bad organization.
If this guy at his peak can get to this point where he was playing before he came out, I would do it. The only trade I would even consider, I would say, you know what, I would take that is Deshaun for Lamar straight up. That's the only time I would say it because I honestly originally wanted. People don't realize I wanted Deshaun.
There's no way in hell I would even consider that after this season.
Oh no, with Deshaun just needs time. Now he's getting the offseason back. Deshaun's going to come back and show people that he is a viable quarterback. You know, it's been gone for some years. You know,
but is he going to be top 5? I don't think so.
Is getting a better thrower, but an equally awful contract.
If
you don't want to win a Super Bowl, by all means, trade for Deshaun Watson or
Moron is going completely off the rails.
I don't think we have a contract. I think that was
all right. We gotta try to bring this in because I think Zach has a Sports Moron. Zach, hit us with it.
Kind of a moron thing, but this is just wild in general. Scrolled on Twitter earlier, and it's been officially announced that Frankie Muniz, Malcolm in the Middle, he's going to become a NASCAR driver. Like legitimately, he's going to run in kind of like their G League thing. I think that's which is just crazy. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, like, I guess
bro, they just be letting anybody join that stuff.
Because anyone can drive a Taurus.
Because anyone can drive a car. I'm about to
I got you.
My bad. Go ahead, Zach.
Hey, man.
Hey, I mean, that's
good
still
for
crazy,
you,
though.
And he's a Clippers fan, so respect.
That's also a valid point, Grizz.
Yeah.
Player of the week.
I don't know. Like, I don't think Deshaun's going to reach the same level he was at.
How old is he?
Well, I think
he's still 20. He's like 28, 27, 28.
He's actually prime quarterback age right now.
After seeing him this year, bro, he just doesn't look the same. Like
he ain't played in 2 years,
and
bro.
He might not ever be
I don't think it has to do with playing, though. I think the stuff, though, this thing that he's been dealing with, I think it has messed with his head a little bit.
I don't think so. I think as it continues to go on, it's continue to get behind him. I just think it's just he knows it's rust. Otherwise, they'd have pulled the plug. That's why they kept letting him play. They were already seasons out of jeopardy. Get him rhythm. Get him rhythms. Get him ready to go. And then next year, you'll see, but I would not be surprised if next year he busts 4,000 plus 10 interception type season. I wouldn't be surprised.
All right, Dom, you want to take us into our next segment?
Player of the week, Eric Berry. First and foremost, let me say this because you cannot even think about or mention Eric Berry, throwback player like to a T. And it had been a long time because I don't remember anyone within 10 to 15 years of Eric Berry. No gloves, tape on his fingers. Hella throwback player. Career cut short. I was looking earlier. not only did he survive cancer, he was injured, like missed a bunch of games in a couple of those seasons, but 5-time Pro Bowler, 3-time All-Pro. He's on the 2010 Hall of Fame team, the 2015 AP and Pro Football Week Comeback Player of the Year, number 5 pick out of Tennessee in 2010, 5 pick sixes in his career. Just a monster.
He's a monster, bro.
A monster.
Just got announced he's going to be in the college football Hall of Fame this week too. He's going to be in this upcoming.
Yeah, he should. He should
one
be.
Of multiple safeties from that era who we never got to see what their career would unfold to be. Eric Berry and Sean Taylor.
Yeah,
I think I'm gonna go next. His whole thing with battling cancer, that's what stands out the most to me. And cancer is a thing that it can really get in your head, but he went through that and he became cancer free, which is an accomplishment in itself. But he came back to the field, after going through all that. And when you have cancer, all you have is like a bunch of people around you that are like feeling sorry for you all the time. And like, I think it can be emotionally draining, but it did not drain him. Like, he came and he still played with a lot of passion. And it was amazing story to see that. But also the 3 first-team All-Pros that he had, 2013, 15, and 16, I believe. He was just a monster, like, in those seasons. So anytime you played against the Chiefs, you always had to think about where Eric Berry was on the field because you knew he was going to make plays. So Eric Berry, an amazing player.
Yeah, and I think that a sad part about this whole thing is his playing days ended, and the next year the Chiefs won the Super Bowl. Because, he really deserved that ring. Comeback Player of the Year 2015. Zach, you mentioned College Football Hall of Fame. Glad you did. Because in college, he was a George Halas Award winner, a Jim Thorpe Award winner, which is awarded to the nation's best defensive back, 2-time Jack Tatum Trophy, SEC Defensive Player of the Year in 2008, 2-time unanimous All-American, 2-time first-team All-SEC. I remember his first game back when he beat cancer, and like Arrowhead was just electric, and it was great. I remember him at Tennessee. He was a stud then. He became a beast in the pros. Absolute guy that he had the speed, the velocity. He could play center field. He's an absolute ball hawk. I think his career's he's got 14 picks, 3 forced fumbles, 50 pass deflections, 5 defensive touchdowns, not bad at all. And also he could rush the passer pretty decent. He had 5.5 sacks. So most definitely a great choice for this one. Eric Berry, he'd always been one of my favorite defensive backs of his time period. And I agree, what would have became if his career was longer and Sean Taylor, had he been alive and had he lived and his career had been longer, Eric Berry's definitely going to go down as one of the what else. Go ahead, man.
So Zach is a diehard he's a diehard Tennessee fan and a diehard Chiefs fan. So he loves Eric Berry. So Zach, why don't you give us your thoughts real quick?
Wait a minute.
The Volunteers?
I thought we were going in order of the Horsemen. And then
I think we should let the guests go, and then we should go.
No, because you guys went first. I thought it was the Horsemen and then the guests. I didn't know. I was trying to bounce.
Right, but I messed up. I did it wrong.
No worries.
So am I going?
Yeah.
Eric Berry, man. Just an incredible player, man. I think the number one thing to me that always stood out to him was just his ball hawking ability, man, and just the way that man, when he got an interception, the way he ran with the ball with such conviction and everything. It's possible he could have thrived in several different positions, just the athleticism and everything. I was just watching his highlights again earlier, it was just incredible, and that was just something. It was just so huge for Tennessee at that particular time, because that was kind of where the decline was really starting to come in as a program. But he was such a bright spot, and the Berry family just means so much. His dad played; he's a running back at UT. Both of his brothers played for UT as well. Great family for that university and everything, and it was just incredible to watch. And then seeing him on the Chiefs, that translated straight to the league, and just like you guys had already mentioned, just wish we could have got to see more of him.
Is it me? My next?
Yeah, you got it.
Yeah, so I remember kind of watching Eric Berry too from Tennessee as well, because my dad was a Florida Gators fan growing up. He was a big fan of Tim Tebow, and when they had that big kind of collision, was kind of a big kind of defining moment in college football. Yeah, that was a really big time. I remember that personally from just off the top of my head. But I also watched Eric Berry in college too, and I was a big Madden guy. And in Madden, he was basically the same thing, just a headhunter, just taking people's heads off. He ended up this season with 377 solo tackles. He had 14 picks. He had actually a big game when he went back home to Atlanta, had a pick six. He had two actually pick sixes. He had a pick six, and then he had a pick two to put the Chiefs above the Falcons to get them in playoff position. And that was a big time after he got from cancer, when he was in front of his hometown, in front of his family. But I mean, Eric Berry was just a big part of the reason why I grew up loving football. Sean Taylor was another part of that. You know, just the physicality and the way that he played football, and his mentality kind of, you know, is the definition of what football is and how you should play the game.
For real.
Both of them, Sean Taylor and Eric Berry, both hit like sledgehammers.
Absolutely. JJ?
Okay. I guess I'll keep it quick. He was one of my favorite players, and I remember seeing him play at Tennessee, and I thought he was the closest thing to Ed Reed, and I thought he was the better of the best safety in the game back when he had Earl Thomas and everything. Always been one of my favorite. Used to play with him on the NCAA specifically for him. I remember how much he used to give Tim Tebow fits, but even Florida would come out on top.
For sure, guys. Okay, so when we get back, we're going to take a short commercial break. When we get back, Gauntlet Grinders for Week 18, the last week of Gauntlet Grinders for the regular season.
Sports fans are gearing up and saving big at Fanatics.com, the world's largest collection of officially licensed fan gear. From all the leagues, teams, and players you love, unique one-of-a-kind designs exclusively by Fanatics, and autographed collectibles from today's biggest stars shipped directly to your home. Join Fanatics Rewards for free to earn fan cash on every purchase. Shop now and for a limited time, get 20% off all orders. Fanatics.com, officially licensed everything.
The Gauntlet is presented by Fanatics. If you guys would like to support the Gauntlet, please check the links in the description on your next purchase. Could really help us out. But anyway, guys, we got Gauntlet Grinders now. So, Dom, who's your Gauntlet Grinder for the week?
NFC Gauntlet Grinder is the Detroit Lions safety Kirby Joseph. You might also know him as Aaron Rodgers' father. Aaron Rodgers threw 12 picks this year. 25% of them, 3 in 2 games, went into Kirby Joseph's hands. Not to mention, in the Week 18 game, he dropped one. He had another one that got called back because of the penalty, and I was like, y'all wait, just wait. Kirby's going to get another one. He owns Aaron Rodgers. He's going to make it. Aaron Rodgers will retire because of Kirby Joseph. He's having nightmares. AFC, it's Nyheim Hines. First player in NFL history with 2 kick returns for touchdowns in a game.
Yeah, that was amazing. Like the
That
crowd was electric because that was literally the first play after the DeMar Hamlin thing happened. So it was awesome.
To see who y'all even have for the AFC because I scoured the box scores and the game.
I don't even know, bro.
I got you. I got somebody. I didn't even pick a player. I picked Mike Tomlin to lead that team to a 9-win season yet again because I just don't think he knows how to lose, have a losing season at all.
And the Steelers were trash.
And they were bad. Yeah. But to lead, Kenny Pickett, George Pickens, Mr. Trubisky, what's his name?
TJ Watt.
TJ Watt, he was out for most of the season.
Yeah.
To get those guys to 9 wins is, to me, is extremely impressive, and that was mine. That was one of mine, actually. Another one actually was Jamal Williams. I love
that's what
I love Sasuke. I love my guy.
Stop playing with us.
He loves Naruto and Pokemon and everything. He's just like a big kid.
I love that dude, man.
Like me.
You get 30 mil. 3 years, 4 years, don't care which. 30 mil, that's it.
Oh, who's up?
Anybody else got a
I guess
grinder?
I'll go. Dom actually took my AFC Gauntlet Grinder. But something to add to that, when he took that opening kickback, people were all like, "Oh, well, this is scripted," and blah blah blah. And then he takes another one back, and it's like, "Okay, yeah, where are all you asses now?" But absolutely, like this dude, 235 like net return yards and 2 touchdowns off 4 returns, man. It doesn't get no better than that, His returning ability reminded me of Desmond Howard's in the Super Bowl when the Packers won it that one time against the Patriots. Like, it was just amazing. I didn't even know I always knew he was a running back. I didn't know his returning ability was like that, But my NFC Gauntlet Grinder is quarterback Sam Howell. First career NFL start, he went 11 of 19 for 169. He averaged 8.9 yards per attempt. He had a touchdown. He did throw a pick. His QBR was 44.5, but his passer rating was 83.0. He had another 5 carries for 35 yards on the ground and a touchdown. Again, in his first career start, you blow out and humble the Cowboys and make them stumble and stagger through the trauma center door into the postseason.
The Cowboys are scared right now, bro.
That right there, I mean, I know that doesn't exactly scream grinder numbers, but mind you, it was his first career start, and he clearly outplayed Dak Prescott. Clearly outplayed Prescott.
It's not even close.
That
was horrible.
Defense, which isn't really all that good.
But you know what? I will say this much: if he gets a shot to being like the guy, him and McLaurin, they might be a scary connect, for years to come. And I'm just kind of throwing an idea.
It's just so crazy to me that the narrative has changed so fast from the Cowboys' defense is so dominant in the first part of the season, and then now they're not good. But go ahead, JJ.
Never mind. Go ahead. It's all good.
No, I'm done. That's all I was going to say.
Boys have good players. They don't have a good group anywhere.
No, it's just there was a moment there that I was trying to get, and then
you got it.
No, but I was saying I don't want to get. First of all, I'm not mad at the scripted kickoff return for DeMar because that was clearly scripted. But I'm not mad at it because it's what they needed to win. After everything that happened during this week, they needed a win, and he is an AFC grinder. I don't really have an NFC grinder, but I do want to say, Jay, I would say I hear you when you're saying he had a good game and everything like that. But I wouldn't want to go into saying if he has a chance to be the guy, he would be good, because that's the same thing they said Taylor Heineke after he kind of met Tom Brady face-to-face in the playoff game. They said if he got a chance to be the guy, they would turn into a great team. I think it was a great grind, like you said, that he got over. But I really don't have an NFC grinder other than that, too.
All right, that leaves Zach.
Honestly, I just want to say the whole Buffalo Bills organization, man, the way they were able to come out and play, gather themselves after everything that happened. Obviously Naheem Hines had that crazy game, opening kickoff, all that. Just the way they were able to come out and overcome and handle everything, and all the good positive news that's coming out with DeMar Hamlin. I just think that was awesome just to cap everything off with a win there. And then not really a grinder because it wasn't a great performance, but I got to push a little Vol agenda right here. Man, it was just crazy this past week to see Josh Dobbs playing NFL football in a game with playoff implications. That was wild. Never thought I'd see that. Took about 6 years, but thought it was just crazy to see that man on
Josh
the field.
Dobbs didn't right back.
That's right. He's UT, right?
Sorry, what was that?
I said he's UT.
Yeah.
Josh Dobbs
wasn't right back.
He's a literal rocket scientist. He looks at the playbook and he sees E equals MC squared. Go ahead.
Hard as hell.
That's all they talked about every time he went over the snap. They talked about his major at UT.
They did. They was like a Dobbs with a completion first down. Did you know this guy could join NASA? Like, it was funny.
He's never had to spend $1.
There's so much. Hey, he ain't gonna be hard up for no money, no matter what he do. But he go ahead, y'all.
No, he good.
For real.
No, he good.
All right, I guess that's it. All right, let's talk about some NFL news for this week, guys. So we're going to start with Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, he's still nursing his injury. He tweeted out a statement about it, and he said all this stuff about how, I really wish I could be out there with the guys, but it doesn't seem like it's possible. And you know what? I actually feel bad for Lamar because I wish we could see him versus Burrow in the playoffs. I think we agree that would be an amazing matchup. But, don't risk your career, bro. Like, just chill and, try to get your money in the offseason and then see what the future holds. So, yeah, I don't think he should be rushing himself to play. Not even for the playoffs.
Yeah. Instead, we get Joe Burrow versus, our guy, Anthony Brown. Shout out AB. Oh, wait, it's not that Anthony Brown. Okay. I just had to get that out. This your team, JJ. Go ahead, man.
Anthony Brown. I forgot there was two.
Anthony's not going to start. Tyler Huntley's in line to start. I guess what most baffling, most irritating is that everybody spends time talking about this money. They talk about this. They talk about this. That, from what he explained, sounds like if it's inflammation in his knee like that, that sounds very painful. At the end of the day, just get healthy. I don't give a dang. It's everybody talks about the pockets of the Ravens and stuff like that. That doesn't matter right now. Number one, you're not in there. You don't know why he's not playing or why they aren't paying. You don't even know the status of their conversations. You don't even know this means that this is his last day here, because at the end of the day, there's never been any indication, and no one has yet to prove it, that he's trying to purposely stick it to the Ravens or anything. He's a young dude, and the antics he does with the picking up the sign and stuff like that, it's just, what young dudes do. He ain't never sit here and not hold out on us like certain people did up in Pittsburgh when they wanted a contract, or certain people threatened to do in Los Angeles when he didn't get his contract, that defensive tackle that's considered the greatest in the game at this time. He's playing, he's hurt. He'll be, we'll be all right. At the end of the day, can nobody sit here and make a case to say the Ravens have not won games with looking like the lesser team against a better team? We've won more with less. We've played against teams when we haven't had the best and had the full strength, because it's one game, do or die. And at the end of the day, everybody will rally and see who comes up, regardless of whether Lamar is going to be there or not. Do the chances better that he's there? Yes, but the chances fade when he's gone? No. I would agree with Dom in the sense of when Joe and Lamar play each other, they bring the best out of them. They bring the best out of each other, because in last year, even though we lost 41-17, the first half, before he drew the Jamar Chase, Hollywood got hit with a 50-yard touchdown for Lamar. They were throwing it out and airing it off each other the whole entire game. But, rest up, be all right. We'll see you next year in a Raven uniform like all Ravens fans already know, except for the people that's outside the team who think he's not. And we'll go back to see how we going to look like next year.
So you don't want to win any Super Bowls anytime soon?
Well, I would be honest. I didn't know you knew what Super Bowls were, to be very honest with you.
We don't.
I knew about mine. But at the end of the day, anything is possible. And at the end of the day, there has been a real legitimate chance that if the Ravens can get it together on offense with him at the helm, there's a good shot that they can make it and win a Super Bowl. Probably better than most people want to admit, because to admit that, it means to admit something that you was trying to stick with since the guy got into the league day one.
All right, Zach and Kenyon, what's your thoughts on the situation?
Based on history, there's been exactly one, maybe two teams in the last 20 years paying a quarterback that much money that won the Super Bowl. It's either literally 18 out of the last 20 is either Tom Brady on less than market value or someone on a rookie contract.
All right, we got a couple more topics we got to get to. So Zach and Kenyon, what's y'all's thoughts on the situation with Lamar?
You me get it. Well, my thoughts is they have a chance that he could walk because his rookie contract is up. I really don't want to lose Lamar Jackson and not get anything out of it. He's too valuable. He's too valuable to just let him just choose a team that he can walk to and they give him his money.
No, they can tag him. He'll be restricted.
Yeah, I think he definitely gets the franchise tag because they locked up.
Okay,
I would hope.
Down the road.
I mean, I would hope so, but I mean, his play style and stuff like that, he's got to slide a little more than he has been, because he can't take those hits that he's taking as well as getting sacked. That's kind of what I've been saying about with Josh Allen.
No,
Josh
but
Allen hadn't got injured yet.
He got hurt on the passing play. He didn't get hurt.
That's what I'm saying.
Like,
but it's
that's
like,
what I'm saying.
He doesn't take too many hits though. But I'm just sitting there saying like he got hit on the passing play. I get what you're saying, but like.
But that's my thing with all. That's my thing with all screaming quarterbacks is I just want them to slide because they're gonna get sacked regardless. You know what I'm saying? Because you be watching Josh Allen, he's jumping over people, but no one says anything about it. And I kind of
we saw the play that Jalen Hurts got hurt. He was running and he got down, and then a big 300-pound dude just got on his back, hurt his shoulder.
Well, Lamar Jackson is not Josh Allen.
All right, Zach.
There are a variety of ways.
Anything?
Was your phone on mute?
All right. He's frozen up a little bit. All right. So, guys, next thing. Another quarterback has entered the trade rumors. It is Derek Carr this time. What team do you guys think is the best fit for Derek Carr?
Honestly,
I'll start because I'll be quick because y'all know I'm a huge Derek Carr fan.
Yeah, go ahead.
I wanted Derek Carr about 5 years ago in a trade for Stafford because Chucky loves him some Matt Stafford, plus the Raiders, so they would have given us 45 draft picks. Or we could have traded Stafford to the Cowboys, and they would have given us 3,000 draft picks. But Derek Carr is the second most clutch active quarterback in the NFL. Number one is Matt Stafford. He's done with the Raiders. I don't blame him. I don't think he's quite old enough yet to go to Indianapolis because they like quarterbacks that are closer to 40, 30 for the last 3 years.
Carson Wentz was 27, bro.
He could go to the Jets. He could if the Giants lose because of Daniel Jones, he could go to the Giants. He could go to Carolina. He could go to Tampa if Brady leaves. He could go to Arizona. He has a lot of suitors. He also has one thing that Matt Stafford does not: MVP votes. I would still take Derek Carr.
That's sad, bro.
Over Jared Goff.
Wow.
I honestly think a change of scenery is all that's needed. I mean, let's look at what the Raiders have been through the last 3 years. You know, you had the Henry Ruggs situation, and that affected him deeply. In the midst of doing the John Gruden situation, and that affected them deeply. And then even then, they wanted their coach to be the interim coach that it was, and they got Josh McDaniels, who at the same time everybody's been saying has been known to be a horrible coach. So it's like, what in those situations, we're talking about some serious things. We're talking about racial situations when it comes to John Gruden, and we're talking about murder from being drunk from Henry Ruggs that was a close person to him. That's a lot to go through. That is a heck of a lot to go through. There's a lot to go on. And so I don't think I can look at that team and see right up and down that there was a ton of talent, but that team is broken. They don't have a way. They don't have a route, a direction that they want to go in. They're just fumbling around. If you get to a team, and I hate to say this, oh my God, I hate to say this, because I despise this team. You know, I don't really talk about them. If he came to DC and got with this team, with the Terry McLaurins, the Jahan Dotsons, who's getting a little bit better, the Brian Robinson as good running back to rely on, good offensive line front on the defensive line with, all of them, I could see him being quite a little bit more successful and to bust out a team to turn into them, because Washington has some pieces and he's not a bad quarterback despite what everyone wants to sit there and say.
That move would be impossible, though, because they have Carson Wentz's contract on the books, so you cannot have that much money tied into one position, the quarterback position. It absolutely would not work from a business standpoint.
Shoot, to be honest with you, Washington history, Dan has done crazy things on his own. It don't matter.
Well, I think he needs to go to another stable situation, though, because the instability of the Raiders is kind of what has caused him to decline. I feel like going somewhere like Washington that's just about as unstable, if not more. Especially front office wise, I don't know if that would be the right move for him. I think he needs to go somewhere with
maybe
stability.
Miami. Maybe Miami.
I've thought about this, and I don't mind him. I don't mind him leaving the Raiders. I just wish they wouldn't have brought in Devontae Adams and cross him up and all of that. I honestly would not mind him seeing him go to New Orleans. You know, you still got Kamara in the back. You still got Kamara in the back. You got a young receiver in Chris Olave. You still got that defense. You know, I think it might. I think it may. Say again?
One of 6 or 7 win teams from this year that he could turn into a 9 or 10 win team.
Right.
I don't know if Kamara is the same Kamara.
He's a bum.
Tell us what's on your mind, bro. I can see it. I can see a look in your eyes.
Yes, yo squad. But hold on. But let me ask you before you go. Let me ask you. You tell me which of these 3 you gonna start: Derek Carr, Jameis Winston, or Andy Dalton.
Would it be crazy if I started Jameis Winston?
Shit!
I don't
think so.
Wow.
I was
don't
thinking
want
that way
to.
too.
Wow.
I don't think you understand. Like, I haven't seen.
Look, wins.
The only thing with Winston is he doesn't stay healthy. Like, I've kind of seen what Carr is doing. I kind of see what Carr is, and I don't want to match to it Dennis Allen because that's going to be just average. I don't want to see 8, 9, or 7 and 10 again.
That's fair. That's fair. But see, the thing is, well, you just mentioned it. Winston can't stay healthy. That's 1. For 2, you know what Dalton is, and we can all agree that Carr's better than Dalton.
Future Indianapolis Colts quarterback Andy Dalton.
Let's be for real, bro. We know that Derek Carr is destined to be an Indianapolis Colt. It just makes too much sense. The Colts are the kings of taking has-been quarterbacks from another team. You did it with Carson Wentz. You did it with Phillip Rivers. You did it with Matt Ryan. You're going to do it with Derek Carr. Case closed.
And Rivers took them to the playoffs.
He's the only one.
Man, Rivers took them boys to the postseason.
I'm pretty sure he's the only one that did that of those following quarterbacks.
You know what I'm saying? They ain't like the shot put throw.
Wentz didn't do it, and Matt Ryan didn't do it.
I would take Derek Carr over more than half of the starting quarterbacks in the NFL.
I mean, that's fair.
Really?
No, that's fair.
100%.
I think you should go to New York. Anybody think of the Jets?
Yeah. Either way,
would work.
The Jets would be nice for him.
That would work.
Oh, Aaron Rodgers.
Man, they want to send him to Tennessee.
Out of there, will he? Won't he? Right to the
I don't
Jets.
know why they want to send him to Tennessee.
That ain't gonna happen. They got Tannehill on too much money. Just like I said with Wentz, you can't put too much. You can't have 2 big contracts on your team, and the big contracts are both quarterbacks. You can't have that.
That's why. What did I say? 16. Every one of those teams below wherever you rank him would take Derek Carr.
Okay, guys. So real quick. Someone help me out here because I don't really remember all the job openings. But we got Broncos, Panthers, Cardinals, I believe, Texans.
Panthers.
I said Panthers.
Panthers.
Are there any more?
And
the Colts.
Yeah, and Colts.
The Colts.
So let's be honest, bro. Which one of these jobs would you guys even want? Any of these jobs or any of these jobs? Good jobs.
Denver.
You know what? And this my team, but I wouldn't want the Texans job.
Oh, nobody would.
I wouldn't. And that's my squad. I wouldn't even want the Texans job.
Like you let the coach go out after the first year. Nobody wants that job.
And then as far as the Colts go, and actually they just interviewed Eric Berry sometime, I think earlier today.
Yes,
the Colts, I don't trust that owner. He's on too much booger sugar to make any sound decisions.
He's still doing that shit.
That dude is wild, bro.
Yesterday. Ben Johnson?
I don't even. I mean, I would say Broncos, man. but something got to give with.
I don't think so, man. I'm not with you guys on that.
The thing is you picking the lesser of two evils here.
The coach is stuck with a quarterback that they didn't pick.
You're booted.
The new coach did not pick Russell Wilson. You're stuck with him.
No.
He's on an enormous contract, and you have no draft picks, and you have no future. That's a terrible job to go to. Terrible
situation. Everything you just mentioned, they're all terrible jobs. Don't. We agree the Colts is bad. We agree the Texans is bad. The Broncos is bad.
No.
At least the other teams have picks.
That division is trash. The Colts have a good O-line. They have a good running back. They have a good defense.
And they got 4 wins.
Matt Ryan.
4.
Matt Ryan.
I like Carolina.
Okay.
I like Carolina too.
None of them are. Colts' job is like the least terrible. Carolina's not bad. Their defense is pretty good.
It's not bad. Because you talk about defense, okay, Broncos' defense is pretty good too. And I mean, the only reason why people are saying that is because of Russell Wilson, in which, I get the takes. I get it. You know what I mean?
The Broncos do have the best corner game this year, which
that defense is more than a playoff level defense.
They got the Walmart owner.
It was number 3 that screwed everything up. That's literally it. You know?
I don't know how you expect any coach to make him magically turn around.
Let me ask you a question.
And I still would trust the Broncos front office before the Colts.
Let me ask you, actually go back, because never mind. I was about to backtrack to the Derek Carr situation. I'll just say this. I wouldn't mind seeing him in San Francisco. I'll be very honest with you. Ooh. You know, they do need a quarterback opening, and I would not mind seeing him there.
So if they trade for him, what does that say about Trey Lance, though? That's the question.
They mortgage the future for Lance, man.
But at the end of the day, with his injury, and then after seeing what's happening with, to Kenyon, is it Kenyon, right?
Yeah.
Who?
To Kenyon's point, seeing these quarterbacks go down with their leg injuries and stuff that affects their legs is a big part of the game. And it's at the end of the day, it's a chance,
They're not sold on Trey Lance.
They're not sold. There were anonymous players that came out and said we feel better with Garoppolo at quarterback.
Especially if Brock Purdy has a good playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, man. You
give Derek Carr that offensive line, you give Derek Carr that defense, that offensive line, Christian McCaffrey in the backfield with George Kittle as your tight end, who is the better than Darren Waller, and then you got Deebo Samuel, Brandon Ayuk, and all these other weapons out here with the X factor in your coach being the OC or the person that he is,
And that number one.
From a football standpoint, it makes sense, but I just don't know if the 49ers are going to give up assets when you have Brock Purdy doing what he's doing, and the 49ers are possibly a team that's going to go to the Super Bowl this year.
Yeah, that just run with him because he's got on a rookie deal. They paying nothing for him, basically.
You could put any one of the 6 of us at quarterback for Frisco, and we win 10 games.
If Brock Purdy has an impressive,
the same thing for the Broncos.
If he has an impressive outing in the playoffs, I think they're gonna stick with him as the starter going into next season.
So what do you do with Lance?
Nothing. He's a bust.
You trade him to someone that was going to draft
You would trade him.
He's a bust. A lot of people, you accept it and you move on.
Who would take him?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people if they win the bowl, if they win the bowl with Brock Purdy, you got to trade Trey Lance. You got to be like, okay, look, we mortgaged our future for this kid. He got hurt. It's unfortunate, but this dude just took us all the way. You got to trade him at that point. You do, because it would not be feasible. It would not be feasible for if Purdy takes you all the way and wins it all, but Trey Lance is the starter next year.
I don't even think Purdy has to take him all the way. If Purdy just plays in the playoffs and he plays at a high level, wins a playoff game, wins 2 playoff games, gets to the Super Bowl, gets the NFC Championship, I think you still stick with it.
Very realistic.
Yeah, but what do
you do trade Trey Lance to a team that's too far down to draft? Or
it doesn't matter who they trade him to. He's not ever going to do anything with them.
How do you know? What did he play? 2 games?
Well, the moments that he had, even before he got hurt, was not
raw.
looking impressive. As a rookie, was not impressive. So you're going into year 3, and every quarterback seems to have a lot of success in Shanahan's system, but he just can't figure it out. I'm not sold.
So I got a question.
Go ahead.
All right, so Jordan Love or Trey Lance, if you're a team looking to rebuild,
pull the
which one you
trigger.
going with?
I'm gonna go with Jordan Love.
I've seen more of Jordan Love. Yeah, Jordan Love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Pull the trigger, but I guess Jordan Love.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, the
All right,
sample
guys.
size is larger.
Well, no,
Any more thoughts on this stuff?
Who hires?
It's like it's interesting when you look at the teams that are consistently firing coaches, and then you look at the teams that are sticking with coaches and giving them a chance and letting them get a chance to, grow and, see what they can do about it. And it's like, it's the reason, no shade to Jay's team, why the Texans remain the Texans, because at the end of the day, you're not giving nobody a shot. You're not giving nobody a chance. You got none of these teams. What's your direction? What is your foundation?
There's no reason for somebody to want the Texans'
we
job.
just talked about this team right now. The biggest reason why San Francisco is who they are is because they have a foundation. You know who they are. They know what they're going to do. They know what the top of the organization with John Lynch and going down to Kyle Shanahan, they know exactly what they expect of them and what they want to do. With these teams, not only just changing coaches, they're changing GMs, they're changing team presidents, they're changing so much. Get stable. And in order to get stable, you have to accept the fact that you're not going to be good for a couple years. It's okay. It doesn't mean that at the end of the day, this NFL is going to be around for another 20, 30, 45 years. You have plenty of chances to get yourself right so that way you can try to compete for years and years to come. You have to go through a couple of bad years, and a lot of these teams react to other people. That's why I appreciated teams that stick with guys that didn't have good seasons or successful seasons to begin with.
It's not about that with the Texans, though.
Yeah.
Don't know what they're doing.
Who wants to close this out?
Is the most racist owner not named Jerry Jones, and he knows he's about to get sacked when the emails come out, and he's gonna. His defense is, I hired 2 coaches in a row, 2 different ones. I love the.
You know what? I said it. Dom, I said it. I'm at the point. I'm hoping one of the McNairs openly says something racist, just so they'll force him to sell a team.
I promise.
I'm hoping he says something.
That's why you hired 2 black coaches in 2 years.
Yeah, so they can say, "Hey, we tried."
Then we hired another one. It's just like all the teams that gave Colin Kaepernick tryout. They're like, we're not racist. Yeah. We gave Colin Kaepernick a tryout. You can be a Lions fan if you want, Jay. There's room on the bandwagon.
It's pretty much the NFL version of I voted for Obama, so I'm not racist.
Yeah. I have a black coworker. I'm not racist. Yeah. I have a colored TV. I'm not racist.
They're probably going to hire Ben Johnson. They're probably going to hire the Lions OC.
You're not getting Ben Johnson.
Okay. All right, guys. So we're gonna close this out. We're gonna go our non-sports topic. Dom, what's our non-sports topic?
Non-sports topic is guilty pleasure from the 90s or 2000s, hip hop and or rap. I'll go last.
Man, I still play this stuff. I play Ashanti right now. Don't get it twisted.
It's not a guilty pleasure.
It's not a guilty pleasure.
I play all this stuff. Jay-Z. My playlist is full of this. This is my bag right here. You can have James.
What's your guilty pleasure? What you afraid of me?
Yeah, what do you mean guilty pleasure? Like, I'm confused.
Something you normally
don't want people to know that you listen to.
It's something that you love that you don't really want people to know that you love.
Like someone asks you who your favorite artist is.
Guilty.
This is not the dude that you're gonna say.
Oh, y'all might as well pass me because I don't have no guilty pleasures. I love it. I ain't afraid to tell anybody I love. So y'all gotta pass me on that.
All right, bro. It's Akon, bro. Like let's be real. Any depressed man that was ever going through a breakup or Emotional Trauma was blasting Mr. Lonely at the top.
I was just about to say, Akon had me off rips with that Bobby Vinton.
Yeah.
Yo, I played Tyrese Gibson.
Soul Survivor
Tyrese
classic,
Gibson.
though. Let's be honest. Let's be honest.
I was playing Tyrese Gibson.
Okay.
Don't get it twisted.
I'll mess with this dude.
Lately.
All right, Zach, Preach, hit us with something.
I don't know. Well, like, that's tough. Early 2000s.
And don't say Macklemore or nothing like that.
Yeah.
I'm gonna go with somebody. I'm gonna go with somebody that just hit a bad fall off rap wise, but you know what I'm saying? They got a few classics from the 2000s. I gotta bring up Ludacris, bro. You know what I'm saying? Like, I gotta be honest. You know what I'm saying? I can get down to some old school. I mean, he can, but like, it got more like rapidy rap, lyrical miracle, you know, towards the end. Like, you know what I'm saying? When it was more like different in the beginning. But I mean, he can rap, but like, no one talks about Ludacris
in the
anymore.
beginning, though. He was nasty in the beginning.
If you don't know nothing about the rest of this catalog, Luda's a guilty pleasure. But if you actually go and listen to the albums, like, Luda is dope. And
my guilty pleasure is not necessarily from this era. My guilty pleasure is Justin Bieber. That's my guilty pleasure.
What's your favorite Justin Bieber song?
My favorite Justin Bieber song is Sorry.
You think it's the best?
I don't think it's the best, but it's definitely my favorite song.
What's the best?
Well, no, I mean, in my opinion, it's the best for me. I'm sorry. I thought you were saying, like, I mean, that's my favorite song from him. Like, I really, I had a streak of, like, listening to that for, like, a month, like, straight.
JJ went to the mountaintop of guilty pleasure and said
Justin Bieber, bro. I did not. I was not
He
expecting
went
that
from
from
past to Justin Bieber. That's crazy.
Like, I know JJ loves Rihanna and like Beyonce.
He ain't bad.
Hold on.
He calmed down. It was his demeanor all throughout his younger career. Like when I used to trash him a lot of times. I remember, if y'all remember my old hack profile, when I used to make posts about him and say some stuff about him. And then Sorry came out, and then I was like, all right, you know, I rock.
Okay, he apologized for his behavior, so now I forgive him.
But
man,
I'm surprised that Zach said Ludacris, though. I'm surprised that Zach said Ludacris. I'm surprised at that.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
I think one worthy of a mention of a guilty pleasure is that one jam that Iman had back in the mid 2000s. That F what I said, it don't mean now. F you, I don't want you back. That was like the men's breakup anthem for like a couple of years, dude.
Jay,
like,
and to your point, and Jay, I know you can know this. Let everybody else in the room. I know some people's guilty pleasure was listening to Beyonce, but they don't want to admit it because they probably have been.
This is true.
I'm gonna be real, bro. My guilty pleasure song is, I forget who sings the song, but it was like a one-hit wonder, like the ironic song. It's like rain on your wedding day. Like, y'all know that song? Like, that song just gets stuck in my head from time.
Alanis Morissette. That's it. Yeah.
That song just gets in my head, bro.
Nothing about anything that she said is ironic. It just sucks.
That's the name of the song. Isn't it ironic? Yeah.
I've never heard of this lady in my life, and I had never heard another one of her songs.
My mom's guilty pleasure was Britney Spears.
That's a good one. That's one of mine.
Britney makes
one of mine too.
Britney makes some music though. Britney be making some music.
Yeah, let me hear you.
Oh, I did. I said Iman. I really didn't have too bad of a guilty pleasure. At worst, it was probably like some snap music back in the mid 2000s. But we was going clubbing and stuff earlier then, and then every now and again, I'll dig up a song or two from like D4L or them Franchise Boys, just because like that's just to relive like memories of like back. Because I was stationed in Italy at the time when they came out, Italy and Turkey, and then we was in there and we had the long white and black tees and the pants and the hat with the do-rag or walking there with just a do-rag. Like, yeah.
If you're talking about D4L, every motherfucker, sorry, sideline.
And there's the song at the end of the show, guys.
I knew it was bound to happen.
They got him.
Every mother effer.
He just went like Matt Haskell back when against the Green Bay Packers when he was like, "We're gonna get the ball, we're gonna score," and he throws a pick six on this first play. That was Dom just now. But anyway,
the bald bastard.
Go ahead, Dom.
It's a tie between Ellie and Puff Daddy.
What?
Okay,
man?
guys. So with
Diddy got some hits though, man. Like when it come to, he's not really a guilty pleasure because like Diddy is a hit maker. Like regardless of how he is as a person, and never worked for him. But does he put out good music? I mean, yeah, he's got to share pop music. Unless you're talking about like Danny Kane or something like that.
When I was younger,
but no, like I said, when I broke it down with the definition, no one wants to admit that they are or were a Puff Daddy fan.
Well, Puff Daddy, I like Puff Daddy.
I respect.
Hold on, Dom. Hold on. Before you go, JJ. Before you go. Puff Daddy, No Way Out, his first album. I still jam it to this day. Proudly.
That shit is not even one. That shit is fire.
I'm jamming
fire.
Go ahead, JJ.
I go in my car.
When I was younger, I was ashamed to admit that I loved the Dancing Queen song when I was younger because I used to play that song on repeat all the time.
That's ABBA.
Now, but like I loved it. No problem. And it really got me is watching I can't remember the name of the movie, but it was the movie where it's Christina Milian and they were Texas cheerleaders. And they had Tommy Lee Jones watching over them, and then they were playing the song at the skating rink that night. I can't remember. They saw a murder and he was watching over them, and he was like the Texas cheerleader and stuff. That's what really got me to really love the Dancing Queen song.
So you were a dancing queen before you ever even knew you were a dancing queen.
Okay, guys, we went into a little bit of overtime tonight, but of course, another great episode of the Gauntlet. I want to thank everybody for tuning in and watching. Before we sign off for the night, Kenyon, Zach, do you guys want to tell the people where they can find you guys at?
Well, you're going to find me coming soon on Twitter. I'm going to be back on the Gauntlet. We still got the show coming up. I got some big plans for the fantasy world. The people coming up. Fantasy season ended. I had a good fantasy league that I was in. I got some people that got some advice. Dynasty coming up as well. So just stay tuned. I'm gonna be back on the Gauntlet. I love these people. Love
this
y'all.
man is about to become the fantasy football guru of the Sideline.
You do sports bets?
Hey, my brother do. I've been trying to get into it, so I got you. I definitely got you on the sports.
I got you.
We be on that.
Yes, sir. We got me and Kenyon and a group of us. We got some things in the work coming up soon. We're gonna be excited to announce on. That's pretty much it. I mean, if y'all ever want to find me on anything, it's ZachW. Also, I collect sports autographs, like in-person autographs, stuff like that. I do have an autograph Instagram page at Highland Autographs. Y'all should peep sometime. Got all kinds of NBA, NFL, collegiate, all that jazz on there. So, yeah, that's all my plugs.
All right, guys. So with all of us here at the Gauntlet, we'll see you guys next Friday night.
See y'all later now.
Peace, love, and poke chop. We out.